What's up, you guys? In today's episode, I'm going to talk about marketing for the musician. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy, Torres, and, funny enough, the reason why I came up with this topic is I was watching an episode on some channel, where Devin Townsend was talking about how, for the most part, as a musician, he kind of doesn't really connect with the marketing aspect of what his career basically is at this point, which is constantly putting information on what you're doing, content on you playing guitar, and for him, he's just like, I don't connect with it because what I connect with is music and being creative in writing songs. And I work in marketing, right? So I help run a multi-million-dollar brand, and for the most part, you constantly, as creative as you can be from one aspect of the business, you have to focus on letting people know what you're doing, what you plan on doing, what you've done, and just kind of keep your fans up to speed on on your life, on just everything and anything that has to do with your music. So I'm listening to him, and he was almost in a really kind way just disgusted with the whole pattern of social media being just you kind of constantly having to feed the animal, right? And he's like, at one point he kind of felt like it was taking away from his music, because you're a musician, you want to focus on your music, you want to be creative from that point of view. But I kind of find that there is creativity in marketing also. So, whether it's, whether you want to be goofy, whether you want to share your personal life, whether you want to talk about the dreams that you had as a kid, did you kind of always want to be a musician? Devin Townsend started as a singer for Steve Vai. He's in one of his albums. I remember, I think, Sex and Religion. Did it come out in 1993? I must have been about 19 or 20 when it came out. Devin Townsend, I'm a little older than he is. So, I remember him, being my age and singing for Steve Vai, being like, oh, who is this dude? And then, who the heck knew that he was going to be this superpower, progressive guitarist? But there's that creativity that I feel like a lot of bands don't necessarily, focus on. And, and I guess, you either find multiple outlets with regard to your creativity, or you just hire someone else to do all the marketing for you, right? Because not everyone wants to wear these multiple hats. I owned a business for years, so I know what it's like to do that, which is why I work in marketing now, because I marketed my own business for over 20 years. So I found the creativity in that. So, if you're a musician, if you're in a band, and I know lots of you guys are, because you send me links to your videos, music videos that you guys come out with, shows. Do you find that, and of course this is if you are the person in the band that is the marketing director, do you find that that's a cool outlet, or are you kind of like frustrated, like, this is just part of the business and I don't really care for it? But like any band, right? If you want to play shows, you need to have at least one person in the band that's going to reach out to different venues and say, hey, do you guys have a metal night? Do you have any shows that are playing with a few heavy metal bands? So you have to find the creativity in that. And some people kind of, is it they just find it wasteful. But I feel, instead of like Devin saying that he kind of would rather focus his creativity with his music, I feel like a lot of bands or musicians should, without question, tackle the whole marketing aspect of it, because it's fun. And listen, I was a photographer for years, I started in 1988. I'm a lot older than I look. Good genes, I guess, but you could see from the gray beard, I'm in my 50s. But I just love, using Photoshop. I love creating videos. I love, using Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, and using Photoshop to create different looks, different patterns, and then, even incorporating Canva, because Canva's so, it's at another level of the game right now, where literally, you can have 60, 70-year-old people pick up Canva and they almost become like Photoshop experts, because a lot of what you can do in Canva are things that you can do in Photoshop. It's just the learning curve goes from this wide, long spectrum to something just short. Like, all right, cool, I just figured this out in a week's time, and you're almost like an expert at it now. But let me know what you guys think. You guys are creative, whether you are a bassist, hopefully not a bassist. Kidding. But for the most part, most of you guys are guitarists. Do you find that tackling the marketing aspect of it in trying to be creative pulls creativity from this section of music and forcing it on another end, where by the time you switch over and you're just like, all right, let me go get back to music, you're just like, I don't even want to write anymore. My creative juices have already just, they came in, they went right out, and there's no creativity left to write songs. But I kind of, as I was watching his video, the whole time I'm just kind of not critiquing what he's saying, but kind of realizing like, oh, I guess I never realized that there would be a conflict of interest, especially if you are a professional musician at his level of the game, right? Where he has thousands and thousands of fans that he's had over the last 30 years, and people want to know about him. There are some aspects of his life that he doesn't want to talk about. There are projects that he doesn't want to go over, that may be a whisper where people have heard, hey, I hear that you're doing this or working with this artist, and he just doesn't want to talk about it. But it's out there. So, there's so many different angles that I think would mesh really well as an artist. But then some people, listen, I'm one of those guys that I grew up doing a bunch of different things, and in my adult life, I've done one thing and I was bored of it and decided to pick up something else, got bored of that. And not to say that I stopped doing all of those things. I just, if I want to go to the to the gun range, they have an archery section. If I want to go shoot some bows, some arrows, I can do that. If I want to shoot my rifle, I can go do that. That's my 308 right there. If I want to play guitar, I can. If I want to go to the skate park and skate, I can go do that. If I want to, try to take some time and figure out some new topics for my YouTube channel, that's being creative too. But bro, I'm kind of crazy. You guys know that. I already know that. But not everyone's like that. That's why, I'm an okay guitarist. By no means am I anywhere near being a professional guitarist. Some of those guys are just like, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to focus on this. And they become absolutely incredible at that. And I've just never been like that. I'm just like, oh, I want to, I was a professional photographer for years, but even with that, I loved the artistic side of it, but it was also business. So I loved the business side of it. And then, so, I kind of, like I said, I feel like music, skateboarding, marketing, working with Photoshop and video programs, all of that kind of comes together and defines, being an artist. It's, not everyone can be, Eddie Van Halen, but there's lots of people that can do Eddie Van Halen and can do, the producing side of things, and at the same time find it creative working with record labels and hashing out some of the details there. And then they go home and they go mountain biking. They'll go to some ski resort where in the summer they just do downhill mountain biking, and that's just an outlet, right? That's all about being, having an outlet. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment below. Bro, literally go crazy. Let me know if you think it's too much to have too many things going on, or if you do 2 or 3 things, maybe having your music life, being in a band and focusing on the marketing side of it, is that sensible kind of area of artistry where that kind of becomes you, and you become this, this marketer who can then go ahead and do the same marketing for another company or another band, and that becomes like your whole business. There's so many different, I'm cuckoo when it comes to all of that, but it's what I love doing also. So, but guys, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if it's too much, if a band should just focus and dedicate some, some profit, some money towards having one single person do the marketing for them. But yeah, I think it's an interesting topic overall, right? Because you can have a band, but no one knows of the band if you don't do the marketing. And if you don't do the marketing, no one knows of the band. So, at some point, something's got to give, or it just has to get married together. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Have a great weekend. I'm in upstate New York. We're supposed to get about 10 inches of snow this weekend, so I'm not going to complain. I have some guitars that'll keep me company, right? Except this one. Except it's not plugged in. Guys, have a great weekend. I will talk to you soon.